This is Diptendu. I will be presenting today the course project for managing machine learning projects. My project is basically building an app. I'm calling it SnapCal, and the app is going to help people uh, determine how many calories they're eating with each dish. Essentially, what you could do is you could take a picture of your dish on an app, and then it will give you a calorie estimate of how much calories that particular dish has. I think so. Talking about the problem, so today there are a lot of people who really care about how much calories they're eating. They're probably watching their weight. They're probably trying to follow a healthy regime, and all these people want to understand how many calories they're consuming on a daily basis, especially when they're eating out, but also when they're eating inside. So for all these people, today there is no way for them to easily understand how many calories they're eating because the restaurants do not disclose it. And if you're eating inside at home, then there is no way for you to understand how many calories you're eating today. So definitely there is a problem here. Lots of people care about it, but whether machine learning can solve it reasonably or not. So I think there are a lot of images and pictures available on the internet of different dishes, different restaurant dishes that we could potentially leverage here. Those dishes could potentially be labeled with the amount of calories by different kinds of evaluation. And of course, we could also go to different restaurants and collect the dishes that those restaurants prepare, take some pictures, and get some calories out of them. So we will have to do a lot of labeling, but I think machine learning can definitely solve for this use case. Moving on to the crisp DM process. So the business understanding, I think the target users will of course be the health conscious folks who like to eat eat out regularly, but at the same time, it's going to be helpful for people who are eating inside as well. They want to keep a watch on their calorie consumption, so that's the problem that we would like to solve. In today's world, there is no calorie estimate for most of the dishes that we are eating, but they have to, and the people have to do a lot of research if they really want to understand how many calories they're eating out of a particular dish. But with the new app, they can potentially take a picture of the dish they're eating, and they can get the calories, a calorie estimate through machine learning model. The outcome matrix for the user, it will be the speed at which health goals like weight loss are attained. For the business, that is for the business that I'm trying to build out of this app, it will be around app downloads, how much engagement and usage the customers have with this feature, how frequently they're taking pictures of the dishes that they are eating, and how frequently, how regularly they're managing their calories through the app that I'm building. Output matrix, since this is giving an estimate of the calories, so it's giving an integer value. So it's probably going to be an advanced regression model. We'd like to use some neural networks here. So essentially, the we can determine the error or determine the cost function as mean squared error. The mean squared error will give us how much we are off with respect to the calorie estimate. Target, I think we would like to keep a weight loss target for the users. The weight loss should be attained in half the usual time than they could potentially do using the regular app. For business, I mean, we can definitely have certain targets for how many app downloads. I would like to see some of the successful apps and set some download targets there. Um, and the constraint you have is, I think the app should give an estimate of the calories 80% of the time so that customers are not disappointed by using the app. The data, I think the data that I would like to gather is pictures of food taken personally and uploaded into the internet. So I can actually use some of the pictures people upload to Instagram and other social media sites today. I can personally go out and take pictures of food prepared by different restaurants, and then it will have to be uh, labeled properly. I think a few outliers that I would like to call out here is, of course, the picture, how the pictures are taken, how the food is stacked on top of each other. I think there could be potentially, if the plate has food stacked on top of each other and the picture cannot determine it, a 2D picture cannot determine it, then we'll not be able to determine the calories for it. In terms of data preparation, obviously I will have to label all these different pictures, and I think the labeling will be around the type of food, the type of dish that the plate has, and then we could potentially understanding the type of dish and the quantity of the dish, we could potentially match it to give an output as the number of amount of calories that particular dish has. I'll also be running a database which maps meals and quantities to calories. So like I said, the image will determine what meal it has. It will determine the quantity on the plate. And based on those two matrix, I could potentially give out a calorie count for that particular meal. From a modeling perspective, this is definitely a supervised learning model. And I would like to use a neural network based modeling. I will be using computer vision models, which helps me does an object detection, and it requires an object detection because I need to understand in the plate what are the different meals it has, and at the same time how much of each quantity of the meal of the dish that is contained within the particular dish. I can also definitely use ImageNet. I don't have to start the neural network model from scratch. I can use neural network ImageNet to kind of leverage some of the images that are already being trained for the model. And then the deployment details are discussed in the system design. Okay, so from a solution validation, so the way I would do it is, I mean, obviously there's a valid problem. There are lots of people who love to understand the calories contained in their dish, but for solution validation, what I will do, I'll replace the system that is giving you the output with an actual human being. So typically using a Wizard of Oz validation here. I'll let the customers take the image. So there is someone, human being, sitting behind the scenes who will kind of determine what the dish is, how much quantity it has, and it will send the user the calories that that particular dish has based on some of the data that they will have internally. So this can definitely be validated through this particular technique. And will gauge success based on usage of the system, how much engagement people have after getting the calories for the first time through the Wizard of Oz technique. Are they coming back? Are they again taking pictures from the app, and are they continuing to use the app? So and are they happy with the results? We can also do some kind of a survey, customer surveys after the app has been used for some time to see how satisfied they are. System design, I think, like I said, it will be a neural network, so it will require a lot of resources for sure. I'll be using a cloud AI instead of edge AI. The cloud AI, because there's a lot of processing required to run the neural network on large databases of images that I've labeled, and the new images that are coming in. It will work with internet connection. I don't think there is any privacy concerns with respect to sharing the food, the picture of the food that they're eating. So I don't see a huge issue of users will have to share that image across the internet. It will be an offline learning mode because it's a large data sets. We have to use an offline learning where the system will learn out of all the images that has been uploaded and labeled. It will be an online prediction model because as soon as the customer has taken the picture and they have uploaded it into the system, it should immediately, near real time, it should give the customers an estimate of the calories that they are consuming. A few other tech considerations, I think I will rely on open source technology because there are so many great libraries available with open source today. Python will probably be my programming language of choice because I can get a lot of talent who can develop in Python. And finally, a few risks that I would like to call out about this particular app, this particular model. I think It is based on a standard set of cuisines, a standard set of dishes that the model will understand. If there is a lot of difference in the dishes, or the restaurant starts preparing a lot of fusion food, then there will be a complete difference in the type of images that it takes, and then there could potentially be a data drift here. There could also be unknown ingredients in certain cooking, which could add calories to the food, which will not be understood through the images and the images that model has been trained on. So there could be potentially a data drift that could happen over time, and then this model has to be constantly updated with the recent food types and the recent cuisines that people are eating. The quality of images could definitely be a problem with this. The phone has to have a very good resolution, and the image of the food has to be taken at a certain angle so that we do not miss what exact dishes some of these food plates will contain. And at the same time, since we are also understanding the quantity of each dish within the plate, it's important that the image is taken at a certain angle, which the app will help the customers guide them. The app will guide them through the right angle and the right image taking. But I think those are some of the risks that we'll have to account for. And that's the end of it. Thank you so much for listening.